So here we all find ourselves, somehow trapped between the hell of neoliberalism and the hell of fascism. Take your pick. It's corporatocracy 101. You can't do anything without the corporation. You are property of the corporation. Wake up. As you probably have guessed, you're tuned into the Vegematic channel. The most hysterically slimy under the radar channel you're ever gonna find. Welcome. There's so many crazy people out there, and crazy people make a lot of sense. And let's face it, crazy people are just hot. So crazy people, talking about crazy people, somebody didn't like my last video. And this was like the mildest trolling that I've ever had in my life. Somebody actually called me a weirdo. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm so hurt. And three or four of you actually jumped to my defense, and you didn't have to. I wear the term weirdo with pride, because if weirdo means not participating in this disgusting farce that we call a democracy, then I'm a weirdo. If being a weirdo means I don't have to conform to the norms of a fascist culture, I don't have to. So, thank you for calling me a weirdo. It made me feel really good, and it gave me the warm and fuzzies, actually. I wish I had more trolls like that. Just because it reminds me of how many online friends that I have that stand up for me being called a weirdo. I like being called a weirdo. It's when they threaten to string me up on a rope or shoot me or decapitate me or whatever their latest right-wing fad is at this particular moment. Speaking of right-wing and killing people, hey, there's that Bolsonaro. Doesn't that sound like Bolsonaro? Is that it? Bolsonaro? It's just like, I got the balls. Anyway, yeah, this cat's a heavy-duty fascist, and Trump loves him, of course. Of course. And meanwhile, Lula's sitting there in the prison cell in Brazil. I'm sure that they provide Brazilian wax services for Mr. Lula, who is the actual rightful leader of Brazil. Oh, did I say that? Oh, I didn't mean that. No, because the stock market in Brazil is going way up. It's Brazil. Hey, we're gonna make lots of stuff now because all the fascists are in power. And you know, one thing fascists are good at, it's making cash for the rich people of your society. So there you go. And by the way, the most nervous man in Brazil right now has got to be Glenn Greenwald. Glenn, I respect you as a journalist. Get the fuck out while you can get the fuck out. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? Go to some neutral country. I don't know, just you know, take your husband and run as fast as you can. Because Bolsonaro is going to have you by the short and curlies very soon if you don't. So get out of there, Glenn Greenwald, a true beacon of democratic journalism and truth and all that good shit, right? Everybody's looking for an angle these days. Everybody's looking for some kind of advantage over their fellow human beings. I don't really want any advantage over anybody in particular. I just want the sane and decent people of the world to stay strong and to realize that we're facing a massive tsunami of evil coming at us, no matter where we live in the world. I mean, let's face it. Fascism is taking over the planet. And it didn't work out real well. The last time fascism took over the planet, it didn't work out real well at all. And it's not going to work out real well this time. and the ignoring the climate change, the decimation of the Amazon that will be put on steroids now. We're doing exactly the opposite of what humanity should be doing at this point, and we will reap the poisonous rewards for what we're doing to the earth, for what we are doing to vulnerable humans, to what we are doing. It just sucks. And there's just a difference in the air. Can you feel it? It's the lack of compassion for other humans and animals, and it's the humanity being ripped out from us because it's not competitive. I've always hated that word, and it's such a buzzword. We gotta remain competitive. Competitive with what? Competitive, why, I'm going to be competitive with my next door neighbor to exploit the world in a quicker way and more effectively and waste more of its resources. Is that what we mean by competitive? Competitive to find more efficient ways of blowing people up and destroying ecosystems. Is that competitive? Is that what we want to be competitive in? Competitive. God knows the last thing we need in this world is more competitiveness. If only there were some cooperation, but no, because the evil right-wingers are destroying things really quickly. They're making a hell out of this earth that is our common heritage. They're not even in the majority. The point is that they're committed to their hatred, and they're committed to destroying things. So on it goes, and on it will continue. So it's dog eat dog, survival of the so-called fittest. There's a survival of the strongest, bacteria or something. Surely there's a spiritual dimension to us that means more than survival of the fittest. I've never felt particularly fit. I'm not fit for anything. I'm not fit for human consumption. I'm not fit for YouTube. But somehow there I am, under the radar, sliming in and creating ripples in the pond, hopefully. And it's the same people week after week, time after time, that comment on the videos that I make, and that somehow I can find some simpatico, some kind of sense of brotherhood and sisterhood with each other. But it's electronic, man. It's just like, you can't, yeah. You can't count on that stuff being there, certainly in free expression. I mean, all this stuff is being recorded, right? It's all being written down in the central scrutinizer somewhere. Every pissy thing we ever said against the goddamn imperialist slime, it's all recorded. It's all down there. And along with psychological profiles, physical profiles, fingerprint or thumbprint. It's all there. It's all there on all of us. Call up the central scrutinizer. Well, sometimes I feel like I don't want to be part of it anymore, and I just want to be a human being again, with human emotions, with human feelings, with human compassion. I don't want to be a cyber human. I don't want to make myself better with like accessories that make me strong, and maybe have a big like expandable phallus that replaces the real one. And for the rest of you guys, all of my imaginary friends out there in cyberland, thanks for making a difference in my life and actually saying that what you do has some kind of value to it, right? We all want to be valued. Leave your comments. You know, occasionally I get a new subscriber and it's just like so painfully slow. It just hurts. But then I think, do I really want to get out there even bigger and paint a bigger target on my back for being a dissident? He is a dissident. Remember, do not trust him. He is dissident.